What's going on, everyone? B here, and of course the new 2021 MacBook Pro is probably as close to perfect as you're gonna get on a new computer. However, to make it perfect, you're gonna need to pick up some accessories. So I got the video for you. I'm gonna be talking about some of my favorite MacBook Pro accessories. Now, the biggest part of this MacBook for me personally, we were finally able to get more ports on the MacBook Pro as we did in the past. But there's one port that's missing, and that is USB-A. But if you want that functionality, it doesn't cost that much. I typically use this cheap dongle to connect anything that uses USB-A to my computer. It's a USB-C to USB-A adapter, and it comes in very handy for anybody that's using thumb drives. You could easily just plug it into your new MacBook and get that functionality. Next up is a solid state drive. The one that I use is the Samsung T7. I edit all of my videos and store my libraries on the Samsung T7. It's very fast, reliable, and not to mention cheap. These things can go for under $100, especially during the holiday season where you get a lot of discounts. You're definitely going to see this drop down in price. So I'd highly recommend anybody with the new MacBook Pro. If you didn't go with like the 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte version, then you're going to need to pick up one of these anyway, because trust me, you're going to run out of space. Now, I just want to mention that there are a lot of other options. I only know about Samsung, but I'm going to be dropping links below to everything in this video and other suggestions down below in the description if you're interested in checking them out. The third item is a case for your MacBook. Everybody knows that MacBooks hold value extremely well. You can sell it and not experience that much of a loss depending on the model that you got. But the thing that will make sure that it's a harder sell or you'll definitely lose money from is if there are dings and scratches on your MacBooks. I bought this cheap one on Amazon and I use it for protection of my computer. I know that if I was to be a klutz and drop it, it's definitely gonna break. This thing is not gonna protect it. This is like plastic, but it will protect it from scratches. If you're putting it in your bag and you have your keys or anything, you don't want it to scratch up your MacBook, then you're gonna wanna put a case on it. Let's spend a moment talking about the keyboard and mouse. Now, I ordered this one from Amazon. Again, relatively cheap, under 100 bucks. This is a mechanical keyboard. It's not Bluetooth, but I usually connect it through the adapter that I mentioned earlier. And this allows me to get a lot of work done. Trust me, I'm a beast on this because the feedback on it just feels so good to be typing on a mechanical keyboard. And it's a good alternative to the Keychron K2. There's a cool features, it charges via USB-C. This is the keyboard that I use day to day with my MacBook Pro. I use the Logitech MX Master 3. This is an amazing mouse. It feels good in the hand. Like ergonomically, it's like the best mouse that you're gonna get for the money. And it's just responsive. It can do so many things. It has so many features, so many custom buttons. Personally speaking, I use it in Final Cut Pro. Like for example, I use the side button as a blade tool and I can chop up the clips. Just makes it a lot easier than going through settings or using the shortcuts on the keyboard. Also, a good thing about this is that it can actually connect to multiple devices at once. And all you gotta do is to switch between them is click the button at the bottom and there you go. You can seamlessly connect from like a Windows PC over to a MacBook Pro, over to your iPad. So that is pretty dope. For audio, I typically use the AirPods Max. However, there's no better headset than the ones that Apple makes. I definitely recommend AirPods Pro. I use it quite a lot with my MacBook or with my iPhone, especially if I don't want to carry the AirPods Max around. These can fit in your pocket. They sound clean, have good sound isolation and noise cancellation. Honestly, it is the best that you're gonna get for price in terms of sound quality. You see how I mentioned a couple minutes ago that I keep my MacBook docked all the time? Well, I do that by using this vertical laptop stand. It's relatively cheap. It also has felt and lining inside to make sure that it does not scratch your very expensive MacBook Pro. And the last item is the HomePod Mini. I have a love-hate relationship with the HomePod Mini. I honestly think that it can suck sometimes. Other than Siri being complete crap though, it sounds amazing. I tend to connect to the HomePod Mini if I want to get audio out and I'm not using the AirPods Max or the AirPods Pro. So I recommend HomePod Mini because it works with your iPhone and also it works really well with the 2021 MacBook Pro. But that pretty much wraps up this video. If you guys have any questions, make sure to drop it down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace.